You are Harinath Reddy.
Yes, sir.
You are from YSR Kadapa district, Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Basically, you are a dental surgeon.
Yes, sir. I have done my BDS from Usmania Medical College.
Okay. Then did you go to MDS?
No, sir. I didn't do that, sir. I didn't try that.
You didn't try. Why?
Sir, even before I wanted to get into BDS, my option is to prepare for civil services exam only. And if I got a seat in Hyderabad, sir, so that I can stay in Hyderabad, simultaneously prepare for civil services. So I was very clear in my mind that my choice is to prepare for civil services, so I didn't pursue my post-graduation.
You did appear for UPSC?
Yes, sir. I have taken 3 mains exams, sir.
10, 11,
11 and 15. Attended the interview in 2012, sir.
12. Oh, you could
11 mains and 12 interviews.
Okay.
And Group-1, this is my 5th mains, sir.
5th, 2008 you appeared, 2016 and 17,
Yes.
right?
So many attempts you made.
Yes, sir.
What do you find that is preventing you to get into selection in your assessment?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually I have not done enough answer writing, sir. Especially for the civil services examination. Many of my friends who took the test series for the optionals and GS, they have completed all the tests, sir. But I tried 1 or 2 from each paper. Couldn't do much of answer writing. I could score very well in the general essay even without answer writing. But in the optional and other papers, I couldn't do better, sir.
What were your optionals?
Public administration and geography in the beginning, sir. But subsequently in 2015, when I took my mains exam, there was only 1 optional. By then, both were not scoring well, sir, Pub and geography. So I have written with the history optional in 2015.
So, what are canines?
Sir, they are part of dentition. So we have 4 types of teeth in the permanent dentition: incisors, canines, premolars and molars.
What is the purpose of canines?
Sir, usually they help in piercing the flesh or meat. These canines are very much developed in tigers like animals, which are called dagger canines. But in the human beings, they play a limited role.
By virtue of canines, can you say human body is suitable for vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food?
Sir, it can be both, sir. It's more suitable for vegetarian only, because the canines are not that well developed in our dentition, and that we have only 1 in each quadrant. So I think our dentition is more suitable for vegetarian diet only.
What do you understand by cosmetic dentition or cosmetic dental surgery?
Sir, it's all about improving the aesthetics, the look and appearance of the profile of the face by improving and addressing any malocclusion in the dentition, sir.
What is the connection between teeth and maxilla?
Sir, we have 2 important bones. This one is mandible, the upper one is maxilla. So the upper jaw, it is called maxilla, sir. We have the upper teeth being located in maxilla bone. The lower one is being called mandible.
Who is the famous dentist in Andhra Pradesh?
Sir, at least as far as I know, sir, there was one person by name Vijayawada Reddy. He was a famous maxillofacial surgeon. So within my limited knowledge, he is one of the famous surgeons. Actually, in the road traffic accidents, when people meet with this fracture of maxilla and mandible, he reconstructs them very beautifully.
Most of the cine stars, they go for this maxillary, surgeries. What do you say for that?
Sir, usually when there is malocclusion, then that is an indication to go for orthodontic treatment, sir. But otherwise, the other indications being a cleft lip and a cleft palate. So if such congenital problems are there, usually maxilla surgeries are indicated. But otherwise, I don't think they routinely go for maxillary surgeries.
As a civil servant, you come across cases in some districts, especially in Nalgonda, where due to fluoride, the problem
Yes,
of teeth getting darkened and all that.
Sir,
How, as a civil servant, you solve the problem?
Sir, actually because of excess fluorine in the water, in the undivided state of AP, it is Nalgonda and Prakasham which are affected with fluorine. Actually fluorine helps in fighting dental caries, sir. But the problem is the bones and as well as the tooth, they become very soft. So we need to provide drinking water which is protected, and the present government is doing on that front, sir, since a long time. Actually fluorinated toothpaste, they are used because they fight dental caries, sir. But if excess of fluorine in the water will make the bones as well as the teeth more softer.
There is a plant which is called as a dental clinic. If we grow that plant in our premises, it is like having a dental clinic in our house. What do you know that? What is that plant?
No, sir, I have not heard about it. I don't know, sir. I don't know, sir.
It is Uttareni.
Uttareni. Thank you, sir.
In fact, I had a problem about 3 months back. I took one leaf and then kept it.
Yes, that is called dental clinic. If
Uttareni.
you have one Uttareni plant in your house,
The thick leaf, I think, is a thick.
in China, every household has having 2 plants. One is pomegranate, the second is this Uttareni.
So despite being from dental background, we never came across such things. So nobody told us, elders like you.
Sometimes non-dental people like me can also tell something about dentals.
True, sir, very true, sir.
You are non-technical, they are technical. That's the
Yes,
difference.
that's
There is a popular saying, sir, an older patient is much better informed than a new doctor.
okay.
It goes like that.
Now, essentially, one point I would like to say, this personality test, whether it is in Group-1 service or UPSC civil services, this is personality test. What is your personality? How you react on a particular situation? How you respond to the public request or public agitation? Whether you can articulate with the public very well. Government says something, Chief Minister calls for a meeting, gives several instructions, and you are supposed to transform those instructions to your staff and later to the public level. How do you react on that? How do you articulate with your staff and public? These are the essential things. So in that connection, what do you understand by virtue? VIRTUE,
Yes,
virtue.
got it.
What do you understand from your I would like to assess your personality. What is virtue in your opinion?
Sir, virtue can be simply put as a good conduct. There are several virtues. Sir, and when being a civil servant, sir, he should be empathetic to those who come to his office for several things, and he should also be patient to listen to the subordinates if there is a sensible suggestion. And in addition to that, usually there is a lot of inaction, sir. Decisions are not taken very quickly because of one or the other reason. It can be because of political pressure of acting on one particular thing. So at the end of the day, we should go by the larger public interest and our concerns. If it gives pleasure to those who come to us and also to myself, I will prefer doing that, sir, despite all the obstacles which might come in my way.
Can you differentiate, tell me the meaning of reaction? How do you react? How do you respond? What is the difference between react and respond? When some petitioners come to you with some request, whether you react or respond, if so, what is the meaning of these 2 words?
Sir, usually if those petitioners who come to me, say if they are disadvantaged and whatever they are seeking from me, it's very important for their life or liberty, then I should prioritize that and react more swiftly than the routine petitions which come. So maybe probably, I am not very sure, sir, react may indicate that I should respond more quickly compared to the word respond.
You should not alternatively or simultaneously use both the words reaction and respond.
Sir, I am not very sure, sir.
There is a difference, and if we react, you ask me something, my reaction is different and my response is different. Response is answering politely, and as you said, listening, hearing patiently, sympathetically or empathetically, whatever it is, you should solve. Otherwise, reaction means you immediately react. When there are so many people are suffering without ration cards or without house-side patas, how you people come to me like this in groups? This is reaction. Can you now differentiate?
Yes, sir,
between-
got it, sir.
Okay.
You are, I think, Group 1, no?
Yes, sir, Group-1 interview.
Do you have any idea about this AP Reorganization Act?
Yes, sir, I do have, sir.
You have. Andhra people say, the Andhra government or Andhra people from Andhra side says, lot of injustice has been done to Andhra in the AP Reorganization Act. What are that?
True, sir. Sir, if you see the wording itself, the wording is not very proper, sir. Feasibility study can be done, something like that.
No. They say injustice. Which are the areas in which injustice has been done?
Sir, one is the Hyderabad capital city, which was developed by investments from all the three regions. It went to Telangana. So the successor state of Andhra Pradesh was deprived of the revenue base from Hyderabad. That's one thing. In addition to this, when it comes to the distribution of assets and liabilities, all the time it was not done on the basis of population, sir. For example, when it comes to assets, they were given on the basis of location, which favored Telangana rather than Andhra Pradesh. In addition to this, the special category status which is promised on the floor of Rajya Sabha by the then Prime Minister, and even subsequently as part of electoral rallies, even Modi, he said that they will be giving a special category status, which was not given.
But special category status was never part of AP Reorganization Act. There was
It
only
was not part
announcement
of
made
the
on the
act,
floor
sir.
of Parliament.
But that was a promise
My
made.
question is specific about AP Reorganization Act.
Yes, sir.
What is the injustice done in the under AP Reorganization? Not to know about the promises made by Prime Minister
one-
on the floor of Parliament.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Sir, they promised us a separate railway zone for the successor state of Andhra Pradesh that has not yet taken any.
They never promised.
It was there
Sorry.
as part of the schedule, sir. The feasibility study has to be done.
Schedule 13?
Sir,
Schedule 13 or what? Schedule 4? Which schedule it is there?
I am not very sure, sir. I have read about it. And then even
They
Dugiraj.
say it is feasible to. If it is feasible, they will establish. So it is not a blanket order, no, we will establish. It's not a blanket order.
They have also promised a port, sir. It is the name Dugirajapatnam, and then iron and steel plant in Kadapa.
Again, you are
District.
jumping. The Group-1 is a positive assurance given under the Act. They shall establish
Airport.
for port, major port at Dugirajapatnam. So that is not complied. Whereas for steel plant is again a feasibility. They never promised, it is not a blanket order, we will establish.
A team has gone and studied that is technically not feasible.
SAIL,
At the
people
last
from
minute.
SAIL, they went and studied, and
Yes.
they is technically not possible. In fact, people are privatized, now even Visakhapatnam steel plant is getting privatized.
Yes.
And in the name that is getting into losses and is uneconomical and not viable. That
Mostly
you know.
the disinvestment policy.
Sir, as I told you earlier, sir, assets were distributed on the basis of location. When it came to liabilities, they were given
Agreed,
on
how
the
can
basis
you
of
take,
population.
suppose you have land here in Hyderabad, so we want that to be given to Andhra, how can you take land from Hyderabad to Vijayawada?
Sir,
or
probably
Visakhapatnam or
maybe some monetary value of the part that land can be given back to the state of AP. That might help them.
But never it happened in any of the reorganization acts.
Maybe, sir.
You know, this AP reorganization was 13th in the queue, in the order. And then they divided Assam into so many states. Punjab and Haryana were divided. UP was divided. Bihar was divided. Likewise, you know, that was the 13th state.
Madhya Pradesh was also.
Madhya Pradesh was divided like this 13th state. You know.
Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand.
So, in all these enactments, assets have gone by location only. Then how do we say the injustice has been done to Andhra?
Sir, this I have taken from the speech of Gala Jaidev when he made it in the parliament. So I bought that argument. Probably I may be wrong, sir. And sir, central government has
No,
promised
actually,
many.
don't say maybe wrong. You can say monetizing it because now there is a Supreme Court judgment. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir, relating to some Andhra Pradesh State Higher Education Council.
Yes. What did they say? What does the judgment say?
I don't remember, sir.
They said same thing. All assets are divisible. Liabilities are divisible. Whether they are located in Hyderabad, whether they are located in Vijayawada, they are located in Vizag, they are divisible. So that's what they have given. But Government of India have not acted upon it. There is some tussle going on. So there is some order from court now, which is not available for other states, Bihar or Chhattisgarh or other things. But in our state, thanks to UP State Council, they obtained an order saying that all assets are divisible. That is still pending with the government. Then other issues.
Sir, I remember one more point, sir. Actually, the central government is not giving enough funds for establishment of central institutions. So with the present funding, it was said that it will take decades. With the paltry funds which are being made available, the institutions construction cannot be completed. That is one issue which was being pointed out, sir.
But they never assured it will be done in a year. Again, AP never says it will be done in a year. They said, I think it is for 14th Finance Commission.
Sir, exactly, sir. That the wording itself was it was so worded in such a way that
but
it
overnight they can't give funds. Suppose we require 30,000 crores, why do they get funds?
Even in practical sense also, Hyderabad was not developed in overnight.
No, sir.
It took centuries.
It took centuries.
Sir, again there is a criticism, sir. Modi government has given more money for statues for Patel statue and Shivaji statue.
Let us not get into politics. When answer, when you are answering an interview board like APPSC or UPSC, don't get into politics. You should avoid. You are not a politician. We are not here to give a political speech. You will analyze a particular issue, speak plus point or minus about it, and come to your own conclusion. Draw your own conclusion based on some reason. That's the only thing. So you must always structure your answer accordingly when you answer. Yes, for a lot of injustice has been done in Andhra. Assets have gone on location basis, liabilities on population basis. So I do agree. This has given us a lot of injustice. It has caused injustice to Andhra Pradesh. So that is to be rectified. Then how are you proposing? As you said, it is monetized. Give on population basis assets. Value of that, market value of that asset need to be passed on to the Andhra Pradesh. So that logical answers can impress upon the members. Don't go to other issues. Patel statue, blah, 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 blah. That should not be your approach.
Yes.
What is available in the statute or on the paper, that you should speak. Not the speech given by Galla Jaidev or Harish or somewhere. That's not important.
You take points from them, you come to your own conclusion. Say, this is the thing and other things.
There are issues which is going on in Andhra, 3 capital issues. Do you support or?
Sir, I do support, sir, given the historical experience of AP itself. Sir, when Andhra Telugu speaking area was initially part of that Madras British Indian province, sir. So much of the development happened in Madras. Subsequently, after the Telugu speaking area got separated, we have lost that benefit. Then subsequently, recently in 2014 again, the concentrated district development all went in favor of Telangana because of Hyderabad. So it makes an abundant sense that development should not be concentrated in one capital city or one town or city. It is a good idea if it is distributed across the state, depending upon the potential of the areas to growth. Not merely the location of judicial, legislative or executive capitals. I am saying beyond that. Depending upon the resource potential of a particular region, we need to decentralize the development. Otherwise, this may get repeated again. If Vijayawada or Visakhapatnam gets so much developed and Rayalaseema and North Coastal Andhra continue to remain backward, tomorrow after 10 or 20 years, again there may be a demand for separate state for Andhra region.
Vizag is part of North Coastal Andhra.
Sir, Srikakulam, Vijayanagaram, Visakhapatnam.
Okay, why this? There is some issue which is now going on as far as ABPSC is concerned. Can you explain what exactly is the problem now?
Sir, because of the situation of COVID, APPSC, it seems that they have got the answer sheets evaluated digitally. And the students who did not get selected for the interview, they had a doubt that the evaluators were they chosen by APPSC or whether it is left to a third party like TCS. One of the members of APPSC in the press meet, they said that only scanning of the papers and communicating them to the evaluators is done by TCS. Only then the actual choice, the actual selection of the evaluators is done by APPSC only. But the students had doubts, so that's why they took to the legal course. This is the main contention from their side, sir. In addition to that, they are also making allegations that something went wrong, people took money, and accordingly they have altered the list, something like that, which may not be true. This is the main issue, sir. Digital evaluation through evaluators, either it is done by APPSC itself or is it outsourced to a third party like TCS, which should not have been done.
There is another issue, only based on marks. There will be a question of interview. May not be there even for Group-1 services.
Sir, that is for the coming notification, sir.
Do you think that it is
no, sir.
advisable?
I don't advise that, sir, because this Group-1 services, they are the top services, at least in the state services. Next to IAS and IPS, they occupy the key positions. So if there is an interview, those who are in the board, maybe retired civil servants like you or even the members of APPSC, they can read the personality of the candidate and his suitability for the important post like RDO and DSP like that. So it makes sense to have a personality test, but if there is a very high weightage for the personality test, it can be reduced and can be made more reasonable. Now the present weightage is 75, sir. I think that is reasonable only. 150 into 5 papers, it is around 750 written, 75 is for personality test. It can be further reduced to 50 if required. But doing it away altogether doesn't make sense.
Okay. There is another issue which is now going on, water issue. Godavari and Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Recently Gazette.
Sir, interstate.
Notification.
Yes, sir. I got the question, sir. Sir, interstate river waters, it is a subject in the union list, sir, entry 57, and it is a national asset. So the state governments must respect the tribunal awards and also the central government, whatever it issues in the form of notification. Many a times we see that the state governments, they don't implement either the award of the tribunal or even what the central government says. Every time we need the intervention of the Supreme Court in the form of special leave petitions. So greater maturity on the part of the leaders at the state level can find a solution, sir. Constitutional provisions, we had enough, sir. We had adequate provisions in the form of 262. And even legal provisions, we had, they have been corrected over a period of time. Most of the gaps were being covered. And even recently, we had a bill pending in the parliament, sir, to replace temporary tribunals with one permanent tribunal. And despite constitutional and legal provisions, if there is no maturity on the part of the political parties heading the state governments, I think the issues cannot be resolved, sir. We have more political issue rather than constitutional or legal issues.
Is there any award pending now regarding river waters between Telangana and Andhra?
Yes, sir. One special petition is pending with
award. I am speaking of award.
Sir, we had
Award.
Brijesh Kumar Tribunal Award. The states have asked for modification. Till that is done, the states were asked to follow the earlier award.
That is prior to bifurcation.
Yes, sir.
Post bifurcation, there is no award. That is the main problem between Telangana and Andhra now. X quantity has been allotted by Vijayawada.
Yes, sir.
That is improved upon, or there are no little bit changes are made by Brijesh Tribunal.
True, sir.
But Brijesh Tribunal is not yet notified.
Yet notified.
It is not yet notified. Vijayawada now is the ruling. Tribunal award is ruling now. They have what was allocated to combined Andhra Pradesh is to be distributed between Telangana and Andhra now. That is the issue now. Telangana is demanding 50-50. They say 65-35. So these are the things. Because Brijesh Patel, or I think Brijesh Patel, if I am not wrong,
Yes, sir. Brijesh
has
Kumar.
given project-wise allocation. Each project-wise allocation they have given. Taking into consideration, Andhra gets around 65%. But Telangana says no, 50-50 you have to give. That is the dispute now. There is no award.
Yes,
As
sir.
such, it will take some more time now because they need to appoint another committee, tribunal for this purpose, for the purpose of allocating waters between two states.
Sir, till
What is lower riparian state?
the states which are at the terminal end of the river, sir. Lower riparian in the sense, for example, Krishna joins with the Bay of Bengal at so the states which are lying in the lower course of the river.
What are the rights of a lower riparian state?
Sir, whatever the water which they are already utilizing by the time the awards give, by the time the tribunals give the awards, they can actually drinking water, and actually the lower riparian states will have bit more rights compared to the upper riparian states, sir. Usually the location of delta will be close to.
Is it something to do with surplus water?
What is the concept of surplus water?
No, sir, I don't have clear ideas, sir.
Now it's Godavari is flooding.
Yes, sir.
So many TMCs of water is being
Nearly more than 1000 TMC is joining the sea.
Yes.
sea.
Nobody is using it.
Krishna of late
Recently.
recently. So entire the water is going waste.
So right to use surplus water
Okay.
is the right of the lower
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 riparian
riparian. Thank you, sir. I have read a lot on interstate river water disputes, sir, but some issues I am not able to get clarity.
One more issue, Mr. Harinath. This AP government has introduced a system which is called Sachivalayas.
Yes, sir. Village and ward secretariat system.
Sachivalaya. To what extent they are really functioning, and whether really they are able to do the service as expected.
Yes, sir. I spoke to some of my friends, sir, regarding their experience. Earlier, they used to go to the mandal headquarters, wait in the queues for 2-3 days to get things like agricultural inputs like groundnut seeds. Now, even getting the land surveyed, everything is much decentralized. Much of the services which the people need, they are being delivered at the local level, at the village level, sir. So there is improvement, sir. There is improvement because of village and ward secretariat system. There could be some problems which need to be corrected in course of time. So more than I think around 700 services are being routed through village and ward secretariat system. And the efficacy of this system we have seen at the time of COVID itself, sir. Identifying the people, putting them to quarantine, it has become much more possible because of the system of volunteers and also the village and ward secretariat system. Sir, if properly utilized, the village and ward secretariat system can play a very important role in reaching out to the people at the grassroots level.
In COVID, do you think volunteer system has helped, or Anganwadi system, or ASHA workers have helped?
Sir, all are part of village secretariat only, sir. ANM, ASHA,
But even without the secretariat, Anganwadis were there, ASHA workers were there earlier. Is it not extra cost on the public exchequer, establishing office at each and every point? It's a burden on your exchequer. You are collecting people from taxes only, na?
Sir, I
Money
humbly
from
want to
taxes
disagree, sir.
Hmm?
I humbly want to disagree, sir. India lives in villages. Even today, only
I agree,
30% is in
but
urban areas.
At the same time, public exchequer, cost of service. What is the cost of service?
Sir, at the end of the day, it is all about citizenship, sir. Sense of being the citizen must get dignified services at his doorstep. So we have seen for the last 60 years. Now
we are using technology. We are going to reduce into human interface. So village secretary increases human interface.
sir, you want
At
to
one
do-
time we say like technology. You must use technology to facilitate transparency and quicker service, better response.
You must make
Rather
the
than,
existing system to work.
Sir, technology does help, sir, but sometimes we also need physical structures in place and even bureaucracy at the local level.
Village sarpanch is there, VRO is there, VRA is there.
Sir, now we have around 11 functionaries at the village and ward secretariat level, sir. We have so many departments.
Is it not duplication?
No, sir. It is like as per the spirit of the 73rd and 74th amendments only.
Some issue is there in the court also.
Yes, sir. It is relating to the powers given to the VRO, who is part of revenue department, which it was argued before the court that it will go against the spirit of the 73rd amendment.
73rd and 74th amendment is about decentralization
Yes, sir.
to the local area, not to give it to volunteer system. No?
Volunteer system is okay, sir. I am talking about village and ward secretariat system. It does help, sir, people. It does help. And even we have the tool of Gram Sabha.
But
which
they
is-
need to work under Sarpanch kada.
Yes, sir. That's the issue which is taken before the court. And the existing provisions were suspended, sir. Whatever the government has issued the GO, that was suspended. The issue before the court, it is the essence of that is to cut down the role of
You are a
Sarpanch.
bureaucrat. You don't go into politics now. So you need to go by some evaluation, like cost of service. Are we able to do it? Whether human interface is increasing. Now thing is more human interface, more corruption. There is idea now. Why are we using technology? Cut human interface and reduce this corruption. That's one way. So you analyze the issues. What are plus and minus? Both plus and minus, and come to your conclusion. That's always better. Let us not go into some political side. Some 32 services are given. It's humanly impossible for a single person to deliver 32 services. Impossible, humanly impossible. A small employee at a village level, you can't deliver. It can't happen also. But issue is, yes, they are useful. They will be the spokespersons for the government. They are the bridge between the government and as well as the local people. But at the same time, at what cost? Whether this is already better or whether better system is available, whether efficient and effective alternative system is available. These are the issues you need to go through when you come to bureaucracy and when you are answering an interview.
One more issue.
Sir.
AP government is announcing several schemes. They have even prepared a calendar also. As per the calendar, they started funding different organizations and different individuals. To what extent it is justifiable?
Sir, maybe during the COVID situation, transferring money to the accounts of the people is justified to some extent. But otherwise, the existing financial resources available to the state government must be spent in such a way that the productive capacity of the economy is increased, more jobs are created, more skills of the people are created through investing in education system. So too much of welfare without adequate focus on creating infrastructure, physical, social and economical, is not sustainable in the long run, sir.
Secondly, you can also say, always we need to help, government should help needy people.
Balance.
Needy people.
So
old age pensions.
better targeting.
Avoid. Physically challenged. By the disabilities are there. Such people are not all incentive.
Not all. But better targeting of the people.
Okay,
Sir.
I'm not from Andhra, so when I look at Andhra from outside, I see that parts of Andhra, they lack water. So their water parched. So what, like Rayalaseema?
Yes, sir.
So what are the solutions to water woes of that area?
Sir, now increasingly there is something called micro irrigation, sir. So as I am from Rayalaseema region, sir, Kadapa, Kurnool and Anantapuram. They are especially being located in the rain shadow region of Eastern Ghats. We are water stressed. So government is increasingly promoting horticulture crops in these areas under micro irrigation. And there was phenomenal increase in the area under micro irrigation, especially in the Rayalaseema region. So drip and sprinkler irrigation, rain gun, this micro irrigation may help farmers to make more income by switching over to horticulture crops. And that is being done, sir.
What about interlinking? Sorry. What
Yeah.
about interlinking of rivers?
Yes, sir. There are two important schemes, Handri Niva Sujala Sravanti and Galeru Nagari Sujala Sravanti. If these two interlinking projects are completed, sir, Rayalaseema region will get a number of dams in this region that might greatly help in increasing the irrigation area as well as drinking water
But there
facilities.
is stiff opposition from Telangana that excess water is being drawn, and of course
Sir, but state government of Andhra Pradesh is arguing that only in the peak flood season, that flood waters only will be utilized, that too within the share of AP. If that really can be done, I don't think Telangana should have an objection for
what
it.
is the claim made by Telangana as far as this is concerned?
Sir, they were questioning even Vachavat tribunal itself, sir, that allocations which were done under that itself is not fair and equitable, something like that. So we cannot go back and undo what was already given, sir.
What is the importance of Polavaram dam?
Sir, Polavaram, true, very important for AP, sir. It is going to be a lifeline.
What are the issues? currently?
Sir, rehabilitation and resettlement, that is one issue. Sir, Andhra Pradesh is a pioneer state even since when Rajshekar Reddy was the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. By then the rehabilitation and resettlement compensation which was given in AP became a model for the entire country. Now it is reported in the newspapers, I am not very sure sir, but there are issues of rehabilitation and resettlement. So without addressing them, government is going ahead and spending only on the irrigation component without adequately considering the problems of the people relating to rehabilitation and resettlement.
What is the main issue in this rehabilitation in Poravaram?
Sir, that needs a lot of money, thousands of crores, which the government of AP is not able to spend. Probably that could be one problem.
Why should government pay? It's a national project.
Central
But
government.
sir, national project sir, but in the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, Government of India promised that it will pay only for the irrigation component, not for rehabilitation.
You won't come to that hasty conclusion. Never under the AP area says that only this project will give.
I have read from the newspaper that way.
That's
sir.
wrong.
They promised to take responsibility for irrigation component.
In fact, they were giving money even for rehabilitation.
Yes.
But I don't.
They were giving money for rehabilitation. Just now they changed their stand, Government of India, about 2 months back, saying that we don't give for
For
rehabilitation.
Srisalam project also they gave for rehabilitation and resettlement.
Without resettlement and rehabilitation, there is no irrigation project.
It doesn't make sense.
Main problem is only not headwaters, it's only cost on rehabilitation and resettlement itself is a big issue in any irrigation project. So that's the main thing. Poravaram is a national project, I think section 90 or so, 90 of the year says it's a national project, that's all. They never said we will give only for this block.
So
I
in,
may be wrong, sir. I have read like that.
That is wrong.
so in Kadapa district, because you are from Kadapa district,
Sir.
why there is so much factionism as a civil servant
Sir,
or would be a civil servant? How you are going to tackle that?
sir, now it has greatly come down, sir. It was not the scale at which earlier it was some 2-3 decades before. Sir, since my childhood I have been seeing, sir, that episodes of people getting killed and each other, it has greatly come down, sir. People are now focusing more on...
See, coming down and going up is the function of time.
True, sir.
As the time passes, without your doing anything, without my doing anything, it will go on taking up some changes. But my point is, as an officer in charge of that district or minister in charge of that district, what efforts you make to solve that? What is the real problem of why factionism is coming in Kadapa district mostly? Why not in Krishna district? Why not in some other district?
Sir, it is a legacy of British rule, sir. When Baralisima region was part of Vijayanagara kingdom, there were revenue collectors known by the name Palegars. So these Palegars had rivalry among themselves. That continued even after independence. Even Thomas Munro, as the principal collector of Kadapa, has greatly suppressed them. And that is carried on forward as factionalism in the Rayalaseema region, sir. The roots can be traced back to that Palegar system.
But British rule was also there in Sarkars.
But there are some studies.
Polygars were there everywhere.
Everywhere.
For that matter. Why there was fight between polygars? Why there is jealousy and rivalry among polygars?
Don't know, sir.
And you only said and Thomas Munro was not the principal collector Kadapa, he was principal collector Anantapur.
Anantapur. Seeded districts. He was principal collector of seeded districts. 4. Ballari, Kadapa, Anantapuram and Kurnool.
So even now it is not totally ruled out from Kadapa district. Even now why that is continuing that factionism? They are spending so much amount, their crop income totally they are investing on their
Sir,
factions.
maybe industrial backwardness of the district. If there are enough industries in the district, people can get more gainfully employed and can be weaned away from such issues. My district needs much more industrialization, sir. We don't have big industries which have come there to create some good employment for the youth in that area. Maybe focusing on industrialization and bringing more industries, creating employment, may further wean away people from issues like factionalism.
No employment does not mean to fight among themselves.
There are some studies also.
Sir.
It says that whenever there are good rains, people are otherwise busy. The percentage of murders is very less. Whenever there are no rains and of course famine is existing, there are a number of murders, which indicates what?
Sir, livelihood insecurities of the poor people of that area might be forcing them to toe the line of one or the other big leaders of that particular area.
No, the people are not getting engaged themselves in some activity. Whenever there is no activity, people think about other, like rivalry or differences between people and all that. So when they have plenty of work to do,
They don't find time to think
they don't
about
find
this.
time to think about it. There are some studies.
Sir, even Manrega, it has been under implementation since 2005, sir, creating some kind of unskilled wage employment in the rural areas. So even that has helped to some extent, making people a bit busy. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Like and subscribe Eagle Media Works.